Hello and good morning. Was it still good morning? Yeah, it's good afternoon actually, just past noon. Right, so this video going to have a quick look at procedural maps, scaling of objects, XForm, problems, and solutions to problems. So what we have here is several primitive objects. So I think I've collapsed them into edit polygons. I have, haven't I? Yeah. Yes, I have. Right, so what they are, let's put that on is basically these are all teapots apart from the box. You know what? We can actually hide the box. We don't need the box here. So these are all teapots, and when I created them at different sizes. So this is like 100, and this one down here, for example, is 1. And when you look in the viewport, they all look like as what I've got. Let's back up a bit. What I've added is a procedural material of noise. So noise should look like this. So what I've done is I've used one map, as in one material, and I've applied it to all these different objects, which are different sizes as I created them. So this is a size of 1, this is a size of like 10, this is like 25, this is whatever. Actually, that's like 20, 25, or 50, and that's 100, and we've got to really big ones. And in the viewport, they all look sort of the same, don't they? Apart from when you go and render it, if you go down to the little one, for example, it looks like it's going to have a nice noisy material, which is going to look like that. If I go and render it, I get that. It's like, oh, where's my procedural gone? That's not there, is it? Okay, that's not good. So what we've got is the procedural noise is at a certain world scale. Let's go and put this in here. And at the minute, it's the size of 10 things. So it doesn't actually have a centimeter, millimeter type thing. So it's not like I think Lightwave. You can define how big in millimeters or whatever your unit size is. How big this is. This is 10 max units big, whatever that means. So when we zoom up, when we go to the big version of this and have a look, like this one, we go and hit render again now. So we do get our map. And as we get smaller and smaller objects, the map gets smaller and smaller. So what happens? Let's get rid of that. What happens when you create an object like this little one down here? And you go, you've created it on its own. And you go, right, I need to put it in the scene now. And you drop it in the scene. You go, ah, it's too small. Drat. I'll scale it up. So you go and find it, which is a tiny little thing here. I'm going to make a copy of it. So we've made a copy of it. And say, right, I need to look in front view. Let's look in front view. So there's my little object. Let's just go and scale it up then. That'll fix it. We'll go and scale it. So you scale it up, bloop, 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 till it's sort of the same sort of size. You go, yeah, that'll fix it. Cool. Right. You go to perspective view again. And we're looking at the one on the left is a scaled up version, this guy here. We'll go and hit render again. And oh, that didn't work, did it? So you'll perceive. So you've made a bigger object, and you thought, well, okay, so I'll reapply it. Maybe it needs reapplying. So you go and reapply the same procedural noise again. So I've reapplied it. Let's just get rid of that. Actually, it's just select. It is selected. Yeah. So we can just go and reapply it, or can drag it and drop it on it, and then going to hit render again. Let's put this so we can see it. It's off screen, isn't it? Go and render it. Nope, not working. Okay. So that's good. So what I want all these noises to look the same basically, and that's not working. How can I fix that? Let's get rid of that as well. I don't need that. So what you could do is just go and find that little one again, which is it's so small I don't know if I can even see it. Matter of fact, I can't see it. Let's move it aside because I think it's underneath here. There we go. Little teeny tiny guys here. So rather than scaling the object up, what we're going to do is we're going to go into, let's get rid of that. We're going to go into editable poly, select the polygons. So zoom in here. So I've selected all the polygons. We're going to scale the polygons rather than the object up. So go to front view again, and we'll go into that guy, and we'll go into world so it doesn't split it apart, and we'll start scaling. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Okay, so that's sort of that's too big now. Let's just make it a bit smaller. Let's go to our scale tool. Right. and then see how that works. That's sort of ish the same sort of size, isn't it? So go out of edit poly mode, go into perspective. We'll get there in a minute. And now we'll go and hit render. Let's go and get our render dialog box back again. And now we'll go and hit render. Sort of works now. So yeah, so if you scale the polygons up, that would make it work. But you got to like work it against. You got to work it against the thing you're playing with. It's like, how's it? Okay, is there another way of doing this? Well, yeah, there's another way. So let's go back to this guy and pull him over. So this is the one we just scaled the object up. Let's do a quick render. So he's not working, is he? Yeah, we can't see this procedural noise. I want this procedural noise to be visible. So there is a utility in Maths called the XForm. So let's go and do that. So we've scaled the object on this particular one. On this one we scaled the polygons and it worked. This one we've actually scaled the object. How can I make this object appear to be this, this big? In reality, it's not. In reality, Max is looking at this as a small object that you just scaled up. So it's still seeing it as a small, teeny tiny object wherever I put it. Let's go front view. It probably is that one, isn't it? Yeah, it's just a tiny little object compared to that guy. So what we need to do is the reset XForm, and you'll find that over in utilities, reset XForm, and we're going to go and reset the selected. Just check with our render again. So let's go and render it. Yeah, we can't see this thing. So this is a scaled one we've done. And we're going to go and press, got him selected, reset selected, kaplunk. Now we're going to go and redo him again and hit render, and now we can see it. So reset XForm fixes it. Now what you get in the stack, you get the editable poly and XForm modifier. If I then go and collapse 2, what does that do? Blah 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 blah. Yes. What do we get now when we go and render it? So let's go and render it again. Okay, so that change is now baked in. It's now rescaled that object to the whatever max units size it is. It's now that particular size. So what about if you've got a load of objects? So what other ways can we do the same sort of thing? So if we've got a whole load of different objects of different sizes, and we want them to all, let's go and make some little boxes, some tiny little boxes, and some huge boxes, like massive boxes, right? So here we go. Got loads of things all in this, and I want them all to be clunk. Let's go and unhide all. There we go. So if we go into, just zoom into this guy, and we'll hit render. Put that over here. So if we like the look of this, so if we're just playing with the shader on a box and we say, it's too big, I want it to be like 5 big. So let's go into material editor, we'll say put it in 5 as a size, and I'll go and hit render again. That's better. That's what I want. I want that look on all my objects. How can I quickly do that other than either going into the individual edits and rescaling it to make it sort of match this one, and match whatever one? A quick way to do it, or a different way to do it, let's just go to top view because we've got some things that are inside other things. Let's not do that. It's a bad idea. Let's grab you actually. Pull you over here, grab you, pull you over here. What we can do is cheat. So another way of X-forming something, if I want everything across all these different sized objects, even this tiny little one here, yeah, even to be the same sort of look. So what we can do is select this cube, which we like the look of at its current size, and then all I'm going to do is attach all these other objects, and by attaching all these other objects, it's going to then say, actually, everybody's this size now. Then you can go and detach it later, or you can do XForm. Lots of ways of doing it. So just to prove the point, let's go. Can't press F9. I keep wanting to press F9, but if I do that, my screen recording will stop. We don't want to do that. So okay, these all need assigning as well. So let's just go and do this. Select everybody and basically kaplunk. And then if we go and do F9 here, so okay, that's all cool. So if you're not scaled anything, everything should look the same. But let's go and Let's go and scale this thing up. So let's go here and make it massive. Right. So if I put this next to it and do an F9, which you can't do an F9, Stephen, because you'll just go and ruin it. There you go. Because I've scaled it, this is getting bigger, isn't it? I want this to look like that, basically, at that level. So what I'm going to do is basically grab this item. Okay, I'm going to go and convert to edit poly, convert to editable poly. Hello. I'll just convert to edit mesh, haven't I? Oh no, don't edit poly, that's cool. Right, so with this selected, I am now going to go and attach all the other objects. So all these other objects, attach. Okay, and now you'll find that where we're looking a minute ago, it looked like this. If you go and re-render it, it looks like that. So that basically, by attaching all your other objects to this object, it has rescaled it to its scale, the scale of that cube. So that's another way of resetting its internal size for a lot of objects at once, rather than adding XForms. Just another way of doing it. And then basically, once you've done that, you can then go into this and then go to particular things here, like this guy, and just go detach and go yeah, and then go to that guy, and you'll say detach. You'll go yeah, and you can go to this big cube here, this one. This is elements, by the way, and then go detach and go yeah. So there's lots of ways of doing it. This is by doing reset XForm, you basically need to rescale your object to make it look right size wise, and then you reset its thing. If you don't know, if you quickly want to like work out they all want to match one particular thing, I don't have to scale everything up and down. I just want everything to be correct at its particular size. Then this is a way of doing it, and that basically is that. So yeah, that's what we covered there is different types of procedurals looking bigger and smaller in the viewport and how to get them all to look the same. And there's a couple of ways of doing it. You can either go into the edit poly and rescale the polys up, and then it will then follow. The only thing is you then have to match something to, you have to figure out, it's, if you made something at size 1 and the thing next to it is at like size 10, I know to scale it up by 100% to match it. So you've got to sort of eyeball that, and if you've got a box, that's, you can eyeball it. If you've got a character, that might be, or a car or a building or whatever, and you want it to like match with a bridge and all the rest of it, then that can be a little bit problematic. So you can do that by and that works with XForm and with scaling internal polygons inside these sub objects. If you use a control object, which is basically, I'm going to say it's a cube you're going to throw away. Yeah, you like the look of this. You might not want to use. You could just use this as this is my scale for my procedural maps I'm going to use in the scene. You say that's how big this is going to be. I like the look of that at this scale. You can then just go and attach everything to it, and then they all take on the properties of this control object. You can then detach all your objects again into their own component objects, and then throw away this controller. So, bit of a wandering dragon of a tutorial, but yeah, might be helpful. I don't know. What do you think? Possibly helpful, possibly not. Right. On that note, I'll say ta-ta. See you later. Bye.